Hello and welcome to this yoga practice for beginners with me. My name's Jess. Today I'm going to be guiding you through a beginner-friendly yoga routine that's going to help you learn the foundations and get you started on your yoga journey. We're going to be starting today's practice in child's pose, so when you're ready, roll out your mats and I'll see you there. Okay, so child's pose, if it's not a pose you're familiar with, coming down to all fours and then send the hips back onto your heels. You've got two options with your child's pose. You can keep the knees together and then you can just drape the torso forward, forehead to the mat, hands down by your sides, or you can take the knees wide with the big toes to touch, and then you can send the chest forward and down, forehead to the mat, and reach the hands up and overhead. So you have two options with your child's pose here. If you feel as though there's a lot of pressure on your joints in this pose, then you can use some props perhaps underneath the chest, like a cushion or a block, perhaps under the hips, or a rolled up blanket under the knees if it's a little hard on the knees. Take a moment to get yourself situated in your child's pose. Find what feels good for you in this moment. And then slowly start to deepen your breath. Option to close your eyes here if you haven't already. Option to roll across the forehead side to side with a nice massage on the brow bone if you like. Inhaling through the nose. Long exhales out through your nose or mouth, you choose. Every exhale, feel your body relaxing even more than the last breath. Take one more breath in here, deep breath in through the nose. Open your mouth and sigh it out. Lift your forehead and take your gaze towards your hands. Lift the elbows off the mat so that your palms are pressing into the earth. We're going to walk our hands to the right hand side until they come all the way off the mat, keeping the hips nice and heavy on your feet if you can. If you feel like you're slowly starting to lift, then walk your hands slightly further back and don't twist quite as much. You should feel a generous stretch all down the left hand side of your body. Take a nice deep breath in, and then as you breathe out, slowly lower the forehead down to the mat. You can relax the elbows back down as well. Take a nice deep breath in here. Exhale. Slowly lift the forehead, take the gaze back towards your hands, and we walk it all the way to the other side. So back through center, and then take your hands off the left hand side of the mat. Inhale to look forward. Exhale to bow the head, forehead to the mat. Feel a generous stretch down the left hand side of your body. Take a nice deep breath in. A long breath out. Lift the gaze, take it towards your hands. Walk all the way back through to center. Send your weight forwards and lift the torso, coming up into an all fours position. So you want to have your hands underneath your shoulders and then walk the knees underneath your hips. Uncurl your toes and press into the top of both feet for stability, and pull the pit of the belly in and up so you have a nice long spine all the way from the back of the head to the tailbone here. Gaze is straight down on the mat. Spread the fingertips nice and wide and really press each fingertip into the mat. So you'll notice that this takes some of the weight off the wrists here. Take a nice deep breath in. Exhale. So really press out of the shoulders. On your next breath in, we're going to slowly extend the right leg and just rest your toes down on the mat. Reach your right heel back, and then on your next inhale, slowly lift the heel, right heel lift, so it's in line with your hip. Not lifting it too high. Flex your right toes down towards the ground. Take a nice deep breath in, continuing to pull the pit of the belly in and up. As you breathe out, bend your right knee and squeeze it in towards the nose. We want to try and squeeze the knee so it's touching the nose. You can tuck your chin here. As you breathe out, extend the leg back out behind you, nice and long. Nice, inhale. Exhale, knee to nose, squeeze it in. Inhale to extend your right leg. And exhale to squeeze that knee in. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Pause here, hold for a breath. Inhale. Exhale, we're going to step the right foot forward in between our hands. You can use your hand to move your foot if needed. Keep your fingertips on the mat. Option to walk the left knee back just a tad. This will give you a little bit more of a stretch and allow for more room here to lift up through the chest. Keep that right knee pulled in so that it's sort of sitting just underneath your armpit here. And inhale to lift the chest and look forward. Option from here is to keep the fingertips on the mat. You can place blocks underneath the hands, or you can lift the torso and rest your hands on your right knee. Roll the shoulders down and away from the ears and send the hips forward and down. You want your right knee stacked over your right ankle, pressing into all four corners of that right foot and also pressing into the top of your left foot, sort of pulling everything into the center to lift up and hold you steady in this pose. Take a deep breath in. Exhale. To release. Nice. From here, lifting up through the torso, turn to face the left side of the mat and pivot on the left knee. And then bending into that right knee generously. We're coming into this warrior two variation here. So really sending the weight forward and down. Extend your hands out from side to side into this warrior two pose variation. Relax the shoulders down and away from your ears. Again, option to pop a rolled up blanket underneath your knee if it's a little bit heavy on the knee there. Take a deep breath in and a long breath out. Slowly, we're going to straighten our right knee. Left hand is going to come all the way down to the ground. And then we're going to lift the right hand all the way up to the sky for our modified side plank. Option to take the gaze up towards your right hand. Push the hips forward and take a nice deep breath in. Exhale to send your hips back down towards the left heel. Walk your hands to the top of the mat, bending into that right knee, coming back to your low lunge, fingertips on the mat. Nice. Inhale. Exhale to plant both hands and send the right foot back to your tabletop position. Exhale to come and lay on the belly, all the way down to the ground. Press your hands into the earth and keep them underneath the shoulders here. Lift the chest, coming into our cobra pose. Squeezing the shoulder blades together, big breath in. Exhale to lower the forehead down, all the way to the mat. Use your hands to press yourself back up to your tabletop position. And then curl your toes under and slowly walk the hands forward. You want your index fingers facing towards the top of the mat. Again, we're going to spread the fingertips nice and wide here. And then we're going to lift the hips all the way. So lift the hips, straighten the knees, coming into a downward facing dog. Slowly walking, pressing one heel down and then the other. Generous bend in both knees. Pressing into all 10 fingertips. Actively trying to press the chest down towards your thighs. Your heels may not touch the ground, and that's absolutely fine. That is not the aim of this pose. The aim of this pose is to lengthen the spine. Relax the back of your neck. And you want a slight tilt in your pelvis here, so careful you're not rounding through the upper back. Bending the knees will allow you to do this, so tilting the pelvis. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, slowly lower the knees back down to your tabletop position. Hands come underneath the shoulders, knees under the hips, press into the tops of your feet. And then when you're ready, we're going to extend the left leg out and place our toes on the mat behind us. Again, pressing out of the shoulders, pull the pit of the belly in and up. And then on your next inhale, lift the left knee in line with your hip. Take a nice deep breath in. Exhale to bring that left knee and squeeze it, knee to nose. Nice. Inhale to extend the left leg. Exhale to bring it in, knee to nose. Inhale to extend. Exhale. Bring it in. Hold here. Pause. Inhale deeply. Exhale to step the left foot forward and place it in between your hands just as before. Coming into our low lunge, option to walk your right knee back. And keep the fingertips on the mat here just for a breath. Take a minute to get yourself situated. And then when you're ready, lifting the torso and resting the hands on your knee. Sending the hips forward and down. Take a deep breath in. And a long breath out. From here, we're going to pivot on the right knee this time, turning to face the right side of the mat. So your torso is now facing the long side of the mat. Keep that left knee pulled out and then bend into the left knee, sending the hips forward. Extend your arms out from side to side here, coming into your warrior two variation. Inhale. Exhale to relax the shoulders down. Pause here for one more breath. Slowly, we're going to straighten our left knee and then right hand comes all the way down to the ground at the back of the mat this time. Press the hips forward. Left hand reaches up and over for our side plank variation on the other side. Inhale deeply. Exhale. Completely. Send the hips back down. Walk the hands coming back to the top of the mat, bending into that left knee. And then step your left foot back to meet the right. And then come to lay on the belly. Hands underneath the shoulders, lift up, baby cobra. Keep your elbows bent. Exhale, forehead to the mat. Use your hands to press yourself back up to a tabletop position. And then we go back to our downward facing dog. So walk the hands forward, curl your toes under and lift the hips up and back to your downward facing dog. Bending the knees generously, lift the hips up high. Press the chest down towards your thighs. Relax the back of your neck. And take a deep breath in. And a long breath out. We're going to walk to the top of the mat. So walk your feet to your hands until you get to the top of the mat. We're going to get into a forward fold here. So keep your feet hip width apart. You want your toes facing towards the top of the mat. Again, we want that generous bend in our knees and we want to hinge forwards at the hips, reaching fingertips down towards the ground. Everybody's fold will look different. We're not forcing anything here. Relaxing everything down. Heavy, think heavy with the torso. You can close your eyes here if you like. And ground down through all four corners of your feet. Options from here are to keep the fingertips on the ground. You can clasp opposite hand of opposite elbow and ragdoll, swaying gently from side to side. You can place blocks underneath your hands if you can't quite reach the ground, if the ground is not available to you. Find whatever feels right for you in this moment. And we'll stay here for 2 more deep breaths. Slowly grounding down through all four corners of your feet. Bend your knees even more and we roll up to standing, slow and steady. Last thing up is the crown of the head. Roll the shoulders down and away from your ears, palms open. Mountain pose. Take a minute to find your center. Again, pulling the pit of the belly in. Nice neutral pelvis. Take a deep breath in your mountain pose. And exhale. Relax the shoulders down. I'm going to step to the middle of the mat so that you can see me. You can stay at the top of the mat if you like. That's up to you. We're going to head into tree pose. If you're familiar with tree pose, then you can take it away. If not, We're going to send our weight into our left foot. So our left foot is our standing foot. Now, if you feel you may need some support with balance, then I recommend that you have a wall or sturdy piece of furniture nearby, or perhaps a block. We're going to start bending the right knee, lifting the right heel off the ground. From here, we're going to open the right knee so that it's open and our hip is nice and open. And we're going to slide the toes in so that the sole of our right foot is against our left ankle. Now, you can stay here if this feels good, or from here you can slowly lift the right foot and place it on the inside of your left calf. If you feel you can take it a little further, then you can take your right hand, grab the ankle and place your right foot on the inside of your left thigh. And from here, what we want to do is squeeze the left thigh in towards the right sole of your foot, putting everything into center to keep us steady in this pose. And then from here, you can bring your hands to heart center, or you can challenge your balance and reach your hands up and overhead. Tree pose. Wherever you are in your tree pose, take a minute to slow the breath. Find your drishti, your balance, and pause here for a moment of stillness. Take one more deep breath in and exhale. Release wherever you are from your tree pose, coming back to your mountain pose. You can pedal the heels out here to reset, ready to go on the other side. So slowly we're going to send our weight into our right foot this time. We're going to bend the left knee, coming onto the toes of our left foot, and open the knee, open the hip. Bring your toes in towards your foot. And you can choose to stay here if this feels good, or you can slowly lift the left foot and place it on the inside of your right calf. Or you can take it all the way and place the left foot on the inside of your right thigh. Find your drishti and your balance. Ground down through all four corners of that right foot. Hands can come to heart center, Anjali Mudra, or you can reach your hands up and overhead. If you really fancy a challenge, you can slowly lift the chin, lift the gaze, all the way up. Pause here for a moment of stillness on the other side. Very slowly when you're ready, we release, left foot comes down to the ground and we pedal the heels. Back to the top of the mat if you weren't there already. We're going to inhale and reach the hands all the way up and overhead for our extended mountain pose. Take your gaze up towards your hands. As you breathe out, we're going to slowly lower the torso all the way back to our forward fold, bending the knees, hinging forwards at the hips. Crown of the head down towards the earth, fingertips on the mat. Nice. Inhale for our halfway lift. So lifting the torso up halfway, we want a nice straight spine from the back of the neck to the tailbone here. Press your hands into your shins and squeeze the elbows into your rib cage. As you breathe out, lower down to your forward fold. Nice. Keep the fingertips on the mat. And we're going to walk our feet as wide as our yoga mat. And we want our toes to be hanging off the edge of the mat here. And then slowly we're going to lower the hips all the way down into our deep squat. So hips come all the way down until the torso comes into an upright position. Some of us might find that the heels don't quite meet the ground. And if they don't, that's all good. There's a few things you can do in this position. You can place a block under your hips. If you need some extra support, you can place a rolled up towel or blanket underneath your heels if you need some extra support. Or you can come up onto the toes and take more of a sort of froggy squat position. And then use your hands to press your hands together and open the elbows wide onto the inside of your knees. Lift up through the chest and pause here for 2 more breaths in your deep squat. Use your hands behind you to come and take a seat in the center of the mat. Take your time, absolutely no rush here. And then keep your knees bent, feet flat on the mat. Take your hands behind your thighs and roll the shoulders back, lift up through the chest and lean back. From here, options are to slowly lift the right foot so that your right shin is parallel to the ground. If you feel stable, you can lift the left foot and have both shins parallel to the ground for your boat pose. Option to keep one toe on the ground at a time to keep you balanced. You can also release your hands and place them on the mat behind you if you feel that you're tilting back for a little counterbalance. If both of those feel good and you want to slowly challenge your balance, you can reach the hands toward your ankle for full boat pose. We hold here for one more breath. Big breath in. Exhale. Cross at the ankles and come to a seat. Coming to an easy seat. You can place one shin on top of the other, or you can cross at the ankles. You can sit up on a pillow if you like, if you want to give your hips a little lift. Relax your shoulders down and away from your ears and rest your hands on your knees. Pause here for a breath. You can close your eyes if you like. Nice. On your next breath in, reach your hands up and overhead. Exhale, right hand comes down to the mat and we lean over to the right. Nice side body stretch, open the chest here. Coming back through to center, both hands lift, big breath in. Exhale, left hand comes down and we lean over to the left. Deep breath in. Exhale to release, come back to a seat. Rest your hands on your knees. Close your eyes or soften your gaze. Let's pause here for 3 deep breaths. Slowly open your eyes if they were closed. And that's it. Thank you so much for joining me today for this yoga practice for beginners. I really hope you enjoyed it and it sets you up on your yoga journey. If you enjoyed the video, please do be sure to like this video, leave me a little comment, let me know what you thought of the practice today, and then also subscribe if you haven't already. I'd love to see you for another class, and as always, have a wonderful day.